What is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Garrett and I am a natural bodybuilder who is 1 week out from my first ever bodybuilding show. Today I'm going to be running you guys through everything that I eat in a day to get as lean as possible before hopping on a bodybuilding stage for my first time ever. With that being said, it's already 10:30 a.m. and I am starving. So we're gonna go get our breakfast ready, and after that we'll get some cardio in and get our day started. All right, we are now done preparing meal number 1 for the day, which is overnight oats with strawberries. The number 1 tip I can give you guys if you're trying to stick to a diet is to switch things up every now and then. You can still eat the same foods, but switch something up in it, whether it be like the fruit, the protein powder, the Greek yogurt that you're using. For example, I was doing blueberries and vanilla protein powder, and now I'm doing chocolate protein powder and strawberries. If you're getting bored of your diet, just try switching something up and having a little bit of like variety within your meals. I'm gonna finish up this meal real quick and then we'll go get our cardio started for today. All right, you guys, we are back from our first cardio session of the day, which puts us at about 4,000 steps out of the 12,000 steps that we need. And with that out of the way, we can go ahead and get started on our pre-workout meal, which is just some protein oatmeal. Once we get that done, we'll sip on our pre-workout for the day, and we will go ahead and hit this last back and biceps session of this first contest prep. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started on our pre-workout meal. Alright guys, we are now done making our pre-workout meal, all 400 calories of it in this small bowl right here. But luckily, this is the last time I will have to eat this small of a serving because next week is peak week, which means we will be increasing our carbs throughout the week, and I will be able to eat a lot more. So I will definitely be sure to make a video on that, showing you guys what I eat throughout the week now that I get to eat more food in preparation for the show. But with that being said, I am absolutely starving right now, so I'm gonna get this meal in, start our pre-workout drink, and we will go ahead and get this last back and bicep session before we hit the stage. I forgot to say, a lot of people clown on me for eating this because it looks like wet dog food, but I promise you just have to try it. You cannot knock it until you try it. This is one of my favorite meals of prep, and I will probably still eat this when I'm on my bulk. There are certain foods that you eat on prep that are absolutely disgusting, but because you're like starved, you think they taste good. This is not one of those foods, I promise. I promise you, protein oatmeal is one of my favorite foods to eat. Bulking, cutting, whatever, I will stick by this. This will always be a staple in my diet. All right, for our pre-workout of the day, we're going with the Huge Supplements Pump Serum. It's just their stim-free pre-workout. Honestly, I can't recommend like any of these pre-workouts to you. They're generally all the same. Just find one that works for you. If you like caffeine, obviously get a caffeinated one. If you don't like caffeine, obviously get a non-stim one like the Pump Serum. The biggest thing for me is just finding something that tastes good and gets me in the mood to go work out. So once we get this down, I will see you guys at the gym and we will get started on this back and bicep session. Alright, so we just pulled up for the last back and bicep session of prep, really. Up until this point, I've been barely scraping by, telling myself mentally, just get through these last 10 back and bicep sessions and then you're there. But now that it's finally here, it's kind of setting in that all the hard work kind of paid off. All the hard work is done. Not a lot of, intense workouts are left besides today. So really puts things into perspective. And because of that, we'll make sure to go extra hard today. right, guys, we are back from that last back and bicep session of prep, which means that it is time for meal number 3, which is just going to be some chicken, vegetables, and watermelon. Like I said, you can switch up a lot of this stuff so you don't get bored of eating the same thing every day. For example, if you just want to swap out chicken for a different cut of protein like steak, swap out the vegetables for sweet potato fries. Just get creative because you will get bored of eating the same thing every day, every week. And that's what's helped me really get through this prep, is by switching out the seasonings, the vegetables, the fruits that I eat on a week-to-week basis, just so I don't get bored of eating the same thing. But with that being said, we are a week out, so meal number 4 is going to look a lot like meal number 3. I may switch out, 1 or 2 things, but whenever you're this deep in prep, you pretty much got to stay very consistent with what you're eating from meal to meal and day to day. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and get started on meal number 3, show you guys how we prep our chicken and our vegetables, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so for meal number 3 and number 4, we are going to be doing 6 ounces of chicken breast. So I know right off the bat, this is going to be too much, so we'll go ahead and cut it. We'll go ahead and get our seasoning. This really doesn't have to be that accurate if you're not on prep. But because we are so close to stage, we want to track our sodium and make sure that everything is consistent on a week-to-week basis. So that's why I'm doing this. If I weren't on prep, I would just be throwing this shit all over. All right, and with that, our chicken breast is all seasoned. I'm gonna wash my hands and show you guys up close what we're working with. Alright, that was actually the hard part, surprisingly enough. Now that we have our chicken breast all prepped and cooking in our air fryer, I'll go ahead and get our mixed vegetables and our watermelon ready to cook. So let's get that started. Alright, at this point in prep, I'm doing around 1.5 servings of mixed vegetables, which comes out to like 140 grams, which is not a lot, but it's good enough. We'll take it. So I'll go ahead and weigh this out real quick. All right, we are at 140, and we'll run it under some water real quick since we'll just be throwing it in the microwave. I am too tired to actually cook these in any way that will make them taste good. So we're just working with the microwave at this point. Now that we have our water added, I'm going to wait a few minutes until our chicken breast is almost done so we can have them both finished at around the same time. And the same goes for that watermelon. I'll probably weigh out around 2 servings or like 400 grams whenever our chicken breast is done. So that way we can have our meal all at once. So I'll come back in a few minutes once we're done prepping this chicken. All right, guys, our chicken is almost done here in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get our mixed vegetables popped in the microwave, and we'll go ahead and season it once it is done. Alright guys, our chicken breast and mixed vegetables are almost done, so I'll go ahead and get our watermelon prepped real quick. And because I am financially irresponsible, I just buy the pre-cut watermelon, which is taxed out of the ass. It is not worth it at all, but I'm on prep and I'm just too fucking busy and exhausted to actually cut a watermelon. So I will pay the expensive rate that is pre-cut watermelon. So we'll get around 400 grams right here as I drop half of it onto my kitchen counter. It looks like 400 is actually going to be exactly what's left of this box right here. which works perfectly because now I can just throw it away and it will quit taking up space in my refrigerator, which is already small enough. All right, and as you guys can see, we got everything all ready and prepped to eat. So I'll show you guys, how I season my mixed vegetables, which really isn't anything special. You literally just take a teaspoon and pour it on. I hate vegetables, so it just makes it edible for me. So I'll go ahead and do that and eat this meal off camera because I am just exhausted and can't be bothered to film myself eating anymore. And once we're done with that, I'll probably play some Valorant, get shit on by some like 14-year-olds, and we'll get back to meal number 4, which is pretty much the same thing. Alright guys, it is now around 11:30 p.m. We just got done playing some video games to end off the night. And now we have meal number 4 in front of us, which is some chicken breast, white potato, and some almond nut butter. This is actually the best thing I have ever tasted. This HEB cinnamon almond butter. I'll give you guys a close-up here in a second. I could eat an entire fucking jar of this stuff, man. This is so good. And I probably will after my 3rd show. Once I'm done competing, I will be eating absurd amounts of this stuff. So, yeah, that is pretty much everything that I eat in a day, meals 1 through 4. If you guys want to see more content like this, I know I'm going to be doing another one of these videos for my peak week whenever I carb up. If you guys stuck around until this far in the video, I just want to say thank you and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.